for it. Aha! Hello, lovely ladies, little star seeds. Oh, hang on, I've been practicing Yoda waving. Hello.
I just found out that there is an emoji for this.
No.
There's an emoji.
Oh God, we'll have to lit up the universe with them. That is
Yay!
good news. Brilliant. Well, hello everybody, and again, thank you for your support. We've had some lovely comments, and some really supportive comments, like, you know, how we're all singing from the same hymn sheet and things resonate. So I am so glad that we are sharing information that is comforting, familiar, and hopefully helpful in our journeying, because as we read today on our various astrological reports, the next couple of years are going to be quite a hairy ride. So with that in mind, I was working with my friend Dawn, Divine Dawn as we call her, the other day, and we picked this card, and I thought it would be a lovely card to share, just to start the whole transmission off with a real ray of comfort. So stand by while I go to 3D. That's it. So it's from our favourite book of cards. Oh, I obviously can't do that. It's called Work Your Light by Rebecca Campbell. And the card we picked was called The Age of Light. And the little strap line was, "You've been training for this for lifetimes. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you ever feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that have breathed through you in this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is 1,000,000 times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all of the people you have been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came in with a clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is the part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward, that is ready to emerge. This is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth, be seen, and rise. And there's the Work Your Light activation. I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I have received throughout all of my lifetimes. I am ready to embody them all now, without hesitation and without fear. I have been training for this for lifetimes. No!
That is beautiful.
That was
on point. With all the astrology, it is totally on point.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that
Yes.
beautiful? And we forget how magnificent we are. And there's that, I suppose sometimes there's a reluctance to step into our power, as we say, because we feel we're being arrogant. You know, how do we honestly say we are God in a body and not go, oh crikey, should I have said that? And yet we are, and we are that divine spark, and we are here to help on this extraordinary mission for the whole of humanity. And it does sound grandiose, and it is. It's not grandiose, it's grand. It's massive.
Totally.
And we're here for a very, very good reason, and we're perfectly equipped to deal with whatever this journey throws at us. Gulp. Scooby-Doo gulp.
Gulp, right.
Yeah. So with that in mind, I was wondering if you guys had any particular strategies or skills that you draw on when life turns a bit dodgy in the moment, and we are threatening to feel overwhelmed or suddenly a little suspicious or questioning why we are here, and maybe we should just skedaddle sharpish before it turns nasty. And I just wondered, does anything come to mind? What do you do if you are threatened with a feeling of overwhelm, or feel yourself being sucked back into the 3D drama and chaos? Anything spring to mind?
I think it depends on the day,
Uh-huh.
and if there's chocolate in the house, you know, you gotta like, you know. No, I found, because I feel like I've been feeling this way for a while, and it's that whole trying to tap into yourself, and it's really just quieting the mind, you know. It's you get in that hamster wheel, and that hamster wheel creates all that like the fear. Yeah. But yet you look, you know, and you settle and you meditate. I'll do a little yoga, I'll meditate. If I'm at home, if I'm out in the world, I'll just kind of move away from whatever is going on and just go step outside and take a fresh air or a little walk or whatever. And that always helps, you know, and I find that if I focus on my heart, just move into my heart space, it's a totally different mind space. And then I can kind of come back to the situation without fear and look at it a little bit more clear. And then when that little fear comes in, I'm like, nope, you know,
not going there.
No.
But
it is like, you know, and then tapping into finding out where that fear resonates. And a lot of it is 3D. It's all like your upbringing. It's, you know, it's like you said, try not to be arrogant, try not to, you know, be too selfless, but be, you know, and I think there is a way of the universe. We have to step up and be our power. And that's what we're here for. That's what the planet needs right now, seriously. And I feel if we, even being arrogant, use that power and be like, all right, well, this is my power. I need to. This is my mission. This is what I need to do. You know, that's so many different things, you know. But what about you, Lonnie? I mean, we just had this conversation.
Yeah, I was going to say, to add to that, I think exactly what you said, but sometimes the first thing that my dad actually always told me growing up, which has always worked for me, is if I'm in a space like at home, take a nap. Sometimes just completely, just shutting down. And it was funny because as a kid, he would see that I would get overwhelmed because I was sensitive. And he would always go, Lonnie, you're out of your mind. You need to go take a nap. And it used to trigger me so badly. It used to trigger me, and I used to go, I don't need to take a nap. What's wrong with you? Like, you know what I mean? But I realize now he was really helping me because for me, I do sometimes need to just completely shut down, sleep, and then wake up, and it's like I'm a new person because I just have to just shut down. So that helps for me depending on the situation. The other thing too is with the hamster wheel, sometimes you just gotta let it hit me. Like I got to just let it break off. The mind, just have a good, you know, diary of the mouth, get it all out, and not sit in it like all, you know, again, whatever it needs to, like not having any judgment. And sometimes like when you talk to people, that's kind of what you do. Like you kind of just have to get it all out because it needs to go somewhere. So sometimes I'm talking with, you know, a friend that's holding that space. And other times it's just doing that via writing, just taking that quiet time and just hearing it all, dancing, singing. For me, I just, depending how I feel, if I need to do it physically, if I need to walk it out, whatever, I find physical is really good for me. So, yeah.
I think the movement is extremely important. In traditional acupuncture, we talk about where energy stagnates, it gets stuck. So instead of it flowing like a nice sort of freshly flowing river, it becomes like an old canal basin, you know, where the water is stagnant, there is no flow, nothing is moving, and it just silts up and gets in the way. So a lot of our work is about clearing blocks. So we push the energy through, we get movement back in the body. And one of the best ways to do that is to physically move. It's just to get moving. And if I can get out with the dog and go walk in the countryside, and then I get into my mantras of my gratitudes, my quickest way to get out of absorption, self-absorption, or you know, over pensiveness, is generally to eat something sugary, because that's not what I actually want to do. That's not the most helpful thing, but that's the thing I feel I have to do in the moment. So it's normally a fresh cream cake or something, because I get really stressy, and it's almost like I need sugar. I need that energy to work through it. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. It works for me. And then I'll go back to the watermelon another day.
Right. Then we just go for an extra walk after. Then you
give me the chocolate. Give me the bloody chocolate. But for me, if I start to lose it, I feel I just have to get back into my gratitude. That's the quickest way. It's almost like my mantras. And I just connect with spirit through my lovely parents, my spirit guides, and I just rattle through my mantras saying thank you. Then I'll pull an oracle card, and it will always be perfect. And I will be reminded yet again of how much we are loved and supported from the other side, and that there's no need for me to ever feel worried about anything, because they've got it. I've got it. My higher self, that aspect of me that is all of everything that the card talked about. My spirit guides, which are still an aspect of me, but just in a different sort of differentiation. Everybody's got my back, which means I have my back. And the other thing that makes me feel much more confident, and this might sound a bit, smug, dare I say it, is that soul contract wise, I am the author of my own soul contract. And I happen to know I'm an amazing person, and therefore I would not have written a shabby old B-grade soul contract with just dirge and misery and suffering. I would have written myself a whopping great big super person adventure. So if I feel I'm going to go into that sort of all the 3D stuff, I go, oh no, Clary, Cosmic Clary, you're on a real roller coaster ride here. So embrace it, strap in, get going, because this is not going to be dull. And you might as well enjoy it and relish the opportunity.
Yes, I love it.
I do find sometimes I have to work quite hard to get back into that space. Yep. And it probably is easier to sit and just stuff my face full of chocolate and cream cake and just generally feel, sorry for myself and all the rest of it. So I do have some days I work hard. But where do you feel, if you start to lose your inner balance, your inner equilibrium, where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it physically in a chakra, or how do you know that you're what I would call going off tune? What happens first?
I think it's all different, to be honest. I don't think it is, because it depends what you're going through.
Right.
There is, showing up in your reality. And I think the funny thing, what I love, is because we've been on this journey, right? Because we have these skills, is sometimes for me, it's that like narration throughout the week. Like I've been getting little hits of this or that. And it's like, sometimes you think you're dealing with it, but then when you have that time to get quiet and you realize like this is the third day that this message or this, annoyance or thing has been coming up, and you realize I really haven't been dealing with this. Like I've just been pushing it back.
Yes.
Like that's where the chocolate comes in.
Yeah. Like really, sometimes it's like the messages are always there. And like you said, I always call it my entourage. So it's like your entourage and all of that's there, but the moments that you go through that void, right? That void, that free falling, I think that's when all the skill set comes back. And that's when I do that whole, like you were saying, talking to myself and knowing I got this and just reconnecting. But I feel like it's always different. And sometimes sneaky, because we're sneaky, because we know this. You know what I mean? We're sneaky to ourselves.
Yeah.
So we have ways of trying to get around what is deep. Because I feel like now all my stuff is very deep that comes up, that you really need to feel to a point of it and really hit it head on and see the choices you make moment to moment, day to day, not just feeling it.
Yeah.
Well, and because I think it's little bits and they just keep adding up. So it is trying to get, so you have to like almost that ladder and then going back down into it again.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel it just reminded me of about this time last year, I was having a lot of hip pain, and I feel like that's where I was feeling disconnected. I was in a different mindset and just trying to get it, and I kept saying, I'm trying to grab it, like I'm like, it's almost there, it just keeps moving, like I'm almost there. So I decided to draw, like get into the pain of it and then do a painting of it.
Wow.
And I swear, just getting that painting out it just shifted everything for me. And now it hangs on the walls like my like plaque, my certificate, like, yay, look, it's like out of me.
That is fabulous.
You know? So I think there's just it's different on different days. So
Yeah.
but what came to me when you asked that, Claire, like where does it resonate? All I can think of is not being grounded.
Right.
Just not being grounded. It's really what it comes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I get a hit in the sort of the gut. It's like somebody kicks me, and I go into that nervousness, which is why I crave sugary things, because there's that sort of stressy, and for me that's the earth element imbalance. It's a stressiness, a nervousness, nervous anxiety, and then I get it in the heart chakra because I'm not connecting to that higher heart, that open-heartedness. It sort of all starts to close in. But I generally notice I start to get a little edgy and I crave sugar. And I was fascinated. Dawn was telling me that she follows a lady on Facebook, and I think I'm following her for us now on IGC of 3 on our Facebook page. And I've forgotten her name, Pamela Walling. There's 2 ladies that I think I've tried to follow, and they follow the Schumann resonance, which is the earth frequency, the frequency of the planet, which used to be around 7 point something like forever, for as long as we've ever measured it, and now is peaking at 50 hertz and just going, you know, nuts. And they actually map it to help people to understand if they have behavioral issues, because it might, like solar flares, you know, like
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Solar flares. Yeah.
Solar flares and the full moon, you know, and all of these things could be having an effect on us that we're not consciously aware of, like the planetary alignment. I noticed Mercury went retrograde the other day, and I had complete brain fog. I could not remember. I was actually getting a bit nervous. I thought I might be having early stages of Alzheimer's, because I couldn't get a single, you know, I was saying to my boyfriend, you know that thingamajig. And he says, what thingamajig? And I said, you know, the thing that belongs to the the doodah. And he was going, get a grip. And I said, I can't get a grip. I can't get a single bloody brain pulse out at all. And that's what always happens when Mercury goes retrograde. I can wrap myself by it. So I just thought, well, we can follow the Schumann resonance, and if it's peaking, we can just observe our own behaviors. And if we're feeling, you know, something particularly different, we can just see if there's any correlation with the planet.
So does it follow all like planetary aspects? Does it like with now Jupiter and stuff like that? Do they follow that?
I've barely just gone onto their following them on Facebook, but what I saw was they had a little graph showing the resonance of the Schumann resonance. So they were showing where it was spiking and at what hour of the day.
That's so cool. See, that's perfect for all the people that are so linear that don't believe in any of the astrology stuff, that I can be like, look.
Frequency, exactly. And one thing I did notice very happily with the full moon that we had on the 23rd, 2 days before and all during the full moon, sort of over those 2-3 days, my dreams went from being very combative. I'm normally fighting in a military situation, and it's usually sort of quite aggressive. But although I generally come to some sort of resolution by the end of the dream, but over this last full moon, I was having Harry Potter dreams. I was doing magic. I mean, mega so cool. Magic.
You know what I found out too, Claire, is that time right there was I think it was a portal to the Palladian constellation. That was when that portal was open. Ironically, then it was like we were talking about all the Palladian stuff last week, and I'm like, how crazy is that? Like, so that totally makes sense. Your dreams.
It's quite keen that the dreams. I would really hope the dreams carry on, because it's much more fun being a magician than it is being a bloody Terminator all the time. So
Now you get to use a wand.
Yay!
But that's what I was thinking too, is that fun quality. And that's for me, like, that gets me out of my head.
Yeah.
Is reminding whatever it is to have fun, like you painted. And it's just that fun factor is so important, because I do think sometimes we take ourselves too seriously or try to have a plan, and for me, I'm just always so free flowing. So that's just who I am. I just take things as they come. But I think it is so good to have that fun quality to laugh, or just even when we stub our toe, just to like really have a laugh. Sometimes that's what we need.
Yeah.
To not take ourselves so seriously during this process.
It might be hysterical laughter, it might be gallows humor, but nonetheless we have to bloody laugh at it all, don't we?
Crying, right? Yeah. You're seriously crying, and then it turns into a fun cry, but it didn't start as a fun cry.
So if you use cuss words in there, here and there.
Exactly, and that's fun. To me, cursing is hilarious. I love it.
Exactly.
I couldn't believe it. It must be bloody Mercury again, because I walked out of my living room and I managed to wrap the space between my hip joint and the bottom of my rib cage around the door handle. And I literally, and I thought, I've lived here for 11 years and I've never done that. How the hell can you wrap your waist around a door handle?
That's when you look at it like, that door wasn't there. No.
I couldn't bloody believe it, but only I could do that. That's just nonsense. Oh, bless. So that's cheered me up no end. Excellent. So, my little friends, shall we do a little card? Because we're coming up to 27, so we've probably only got a couple more minutes left. Time flies when you're having fun.
It so does.
Would you like a card? And if so, which deck? I've got Earth Magic, Work Your Light, Angels of Atlantis, Keepers of the Light, and Galactic Heritage. What fun card shall we pull tonight? Feeling anything?
You pick one, Claire, because you had us pick last time.
Did I? Well, I was drawn to Earth Magic, actually.
That's good. I was thinking that one, so let's do that one.
I was thinking Earth Magic, and there'll be some nice little treats for us in there. Okay. Lani, do you want to say stop? See if I can shuffle this week. Bit close.
Stop.
Stone people, vigilance. Now this has come up quite a few times for me, which is interesting, and I keep forgetting what the message is. I think it's quite obscure. Let me just find him. 131, 131, so that's good numbers. And I've just opened the book at 111, so we're obviously onto something here. Right. Stone people and vigilance. And it's the card is big sort of rocky outcrops on a nice sort of still water with reflection. These stone people stand in their ever-present vigil along the shores of an ocean whose tide has receded, leaving the remnants of water upon which we see them reflected. The sky, a soft and mobile backdrop for these solid beings, suggests peace and calm. They exude power, only moved and shaped by other earth elements such as the sea, the wind, and earth herself when she rumbles her belly. With practice, we can not only emulate these stone people, but also respect their ancientness and relative absoluteness of strength. They stand tall, bearing the ragged lines where these other earth elements have carved their impression on these otherwise seemingly immobile fortresses. Long past when we've left the earth for the world of spirit, these ancient beings will remain witness to all that transpires before their bodies. And the message is, remain vigilant at this time, but not out of fear. Vigilant simply means opening up your mind and senses to information as it is presented to you through your eyes, ears, physical sensations, and detached thoughts. It is especially true in two main areas. First, follow any gut feelings that tell you to be wary about someone or something. Second, pay close attention to an important opportunity that presents itself, one that may enhance your life and the lives of others. Maintain your vigilance of the clues around you and inside of you. Assess what is emanating from your body and then sort out any conditional responses from what is purely instinctual. Examine the situation with heart, intuition, and mind in harmony. For this is how vigilance serves you. Detach, take a breath, and stand tall in your stature.
Mm.
I always think that's quite
on point.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's just, I suppose, being still, like you were saying, you know, you're doing your yoga, you go in and have a nap, you detach, you get out of the panic, the humdrum, the chaos and all of that. You go still, and then you can see and observe what you're feeling, how you're responding, and then just sort it out from there, really. Nothing very demanding about that, save that we just stay calm. And
because it is all about simplicity, right? Yeah. It's all about, it's always the little things, you know, that make it, it's the joy, like we talked about last week, and simplicity.
Yeah. Just feel it. Just feel what we're going through, and allow the messages to come through. But hey, keep a lookout for opportunities, ladies. Little star CDs, see what's out there, feel what our instincts are, and and we'll see what happens for us for another week.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Like lovely. So I feel that could be, is that us done for this week?
I think that's the transmission. I think that's it.
Transmission before we get cut off, so we can say an elegant farewell now. We can say goodbye, everybody. Hang on.
All right, get your things.
There's little emojis out. Oh, bye, little friends. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye, my darlings. Bye, bye. Bye, bye.